So we've got so far with our pencil pot, we've fused it all together with a new hair, eyes, tongue, nose. So I think my son would like is to have a name on there. So I'm going to add the text Charlie. Now to do this, it is kind of tricky at first, but it's really simple once you know how. So you got the start option here, you go down to draft, and then the entire window seems to change. We're just going to select the fusion and we're going to press spacebar just to hide it. Don't worry, we've not deleted it, we just want to hide it so we can see what we're doing. You need to make sure all your toolbars are up, and then we're going to use this toolbar here with the S to create a string. Now just close that window down a bit. If you drag your mouse across, you'll see this little section here updating. Don't move your mouse over here, place it over here, click it into the X. Straight away we're going to link it to the 0 point, just enter zeros. The string here is what you want to put in, so my son Charlie, and then the height of whatever you want to put the text as. Now 1 centimeter text should be okay for me. Then we need our font file, and because I've been moving my mouse around, I've just wiped that all out, as you can see. So as we browse in, the general path for your fonts on a Windows machine is C Windows Fonts. However, for myself, it would not let me enter that folder in FreeCad. Don't know why. So all I did, created a directory inside my documents folder, named it fonts, and copied the fonts from my Windows. I didn't move them, I just copied them. So everything that was in my Windows folder is now copied to my documents folder as well. So I can then select one of these fonts. Comic Sans, I believe. Comic TATF. So as you can see, I've set and copied the fonts into my documents folder, and then because this is updated, don't worry, just go back again, change it all to 0. Now this links your text to the anchor point, which should be the same spot where your project is, and then we just click OK, and as you can see, Charlie is now written there. We can select, as you can see, just so pressing spacebar to show visibility of the fusion. We've got the text is a bit smaller than this, so we'll hide the fusion again. Select shape string that we've wrote, and we can press F2 again on here. Text Charlie, just rename it so as we know what it is. Once again, select the option of where we're going. We'll then go back to the part menu, and then on this toolbar here we want to extrude a selected sketch. Make sure we've got the text string selected, extrude that, and then how tall do you want it? I want it 3mm, say, and just click OK, and now we've got our text extruded, but it's not on the right plane I want it. But that's fine. We go back into placement on the extrusion. There is placement, angle 90 degrees, and that needs to be on the x-axis. So we'll remove the angle from the Z, place it on the X, and then when we open up the Fusion, that text there is now sat there ready. So we can just position the text as any other item, and it's gonna be, we'll just eyeball it. Not very good practice, but we want to set it in. We can just eyeball it into the position we want it. And as it is, we can make it now just the same way as we've fused these pieces. We can either make it cut out, so we've set it as 3mm wide. We can either cut it out, so we select the fusion, select control, click the extrusion, and do the Boolean cut function. It may crash at this point depending on your machine, but for me, as you can see, only problem is you have to consider you cannot print a floating object. You may need to add text, or what I like to do, not cut all the way through, just make it an indent. So we'll position it 1, press enter, and then it's just a groove cut in, and then as you print it'll bring that 1mm space out, no problem. And you can still get all these bits. So nice simple way to put text onto there, as you can see. Now the other way, I mean, we've eyeballed this. We know that this is 50mm wide box. So if you don't want to eyeball it, you do want it nicely done. On the part window, you can measure distance, and you can select from like the widest point, which on here is the beginning of the C till the edge of this E here, and the distance is 34.72. So we know that we can move this extrusion position on the x-axis, and if we want, we can 50mm minus 34.72, place that in brackets, so is the calculations done first, and then divide that by 2. So our eyeball wasn't far off. If we started with it as 8, it's gone down to 7.64. Hardly worth noticing, but you may want to be more accurate. Just as it is, we've got it all going on there. Charlie's wrote in there. So once again, we can go export it, create a mesh, and start printing, and so on. And that's it really. So just let's have a quick run through. We'll create a new project, and if you want to create it just text on its own that you're going to print out, or yes, we'll do that, just text that I want to print out. So we've got the plate here, the plane. We're in the draft menu, create text, and shift box, and we're selecting the font, comic. We'll select the font. I want it to be a centimeter, that should do it. And then we'll just lock it to the base plane. And OK. We'll create another text string. Centimeter should be fine. We'll use a Times New Roman font. And again, lock it to the X-plane, but we'll make it 20 millimeters above it. We don't want to make it too confusing. Only I did my maths wrong. The Y I want, not the X. But if you mess up, just like anything else, you can go back. But I'm sure you can guess. Let's put them the right way around. 0. So we've got our new text, just plain text on a new project. We'll go back into the part window, not part design, part. We'll select the first, and then we want it to be 2 millimeters tall, and then we'll extrude that. Again, the extrude button, select the text string, extrude 3 millimeters tall, and then we could send that over to the 3D printer and it will print that off, no problem. However, we've now got 2 extrusions. Let's make them both 3 millimeters tall. And we could just add a block that goes all the way through just to link it all together. Or we could we got the text. That's essentially an item on its own. So if we have a block, a cube even, and the cube is 2 centimeters high, 2 millimeters high. 20, no, 20, 30, 40. Just to be quick, we'll put in the negative. Again, x minus 1. So now we've got the text in a block as a plate. But what if we don't want it there? Don't want to drag it. I mess them up here. So, got the cube. We want it 40 by 40. So the text is all the way around it. Chipbox edition. Text is all good. But we can also select the cube, select the extrusion, cut that out, make freeze on, and just slice it out of the cube. Again, we'll have the same problem here because we haven't got any real meat here, it'll all break up and the A. But if we go up to the extrusion of the text, we can use the placement, axes, position even, put a millimeter up, and then it's just like an engraving, and you can mix them up. You can have one engraving and one embossing, and that's how it works. Simple way to add text onto your project. You can even make a project entirely of text. And we'll just fuse them together just for good measure, just so it's all done in one, and we've got the complete kit done. Need any help? Comment, like, share, subscribe, whatever you want. I'll try and keep making these little bits of video, and if I can help you, I'll do my best to do so. Have a good one.